This is a Tab Media special report on the latest from Ukraine as we approach the one-year mark of the war. I'm your host, Jennifer Rash, and joining me in studio are three leaders from the Ukrainian Baptist Theological Seminary. We have Ilona Kadatska, who is the Director of Development and Communications at the seminary. Welcome, Ilona.
Hi, welcome.
And then we have Iryna Los, who is Chief of Staff of the seminary.
Hello.
Hi there. And then Olena Dub, who directs Women's Ministry and the Institute of Leadership.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hello.
All right. Thank y'all for being here. They have arrived in Birmingham, Alabama though they arrived on January the 5th, and they are here in studio on January the 6th. And they're here for a few days visiting with several of our groups in the area. And we are just so privileged to have you all here in our studio at the Tab Media Group building in Homewood. So let's jump in on what it's like to just have the breather out of the environment for a minute. What's it like being away from home when almost a year, we're just within 6 weeks of the year mark of being in a situation that I can't even imagine myself, and we'll talk more about that. But what's it like just being away from that for just a few days?
It's a little bit like I have anxiety,
right?
Because in Ukraine is my family, friends, church, ministry, and so on. So it's like strange feelings to be in country where we can fly and see planes, because in Ukraine now the sky is closed.
You were telling me that all the airports are closed.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's so dangerous because we have rockets in our sky sometimes. So, but we are happy to be here, really happy, and to share our experience, to meet new people, our partners, new people, new friends. So we are glad to be here.
And you'll be with the Women's Missionary Union.
Yeah, we're very excited about that.
Yeah, and you're going to be at Beeson Divinity School at Stanford University. I know you're going to be talking with WMU Foundation and several others, I'm sure, too. Jump in, Iryna.
Well, for me, it's I have like ambivalent feelings because I'm very excited that I am here, but at the same time, I'm worried about what is going to happen in Ukraine. This is my state, I think, for the last 10 months. So you never know what's going to happen. So there can be a missile attack anytime. There could be like air alarms all the time. There can be no light for all day, and so anything can happen. So now it's okay, in 2 hours, then we all go to the bomb shelter, and that's how we live. And this is our routine for the last 10 months. So, and we are kind of used to it. I know it's hard to say even that, but this is our reality now. We don't want it. It's not the beauty we want to live in, but that's what we deal with on a daily basis. And but I'm like excited to be here because I know why I'm here. I want to meet people. I want to talk to our friends. I want to share about Ukraine and make sure that other people know about Ukraine, hear our story, and pray for us, because we do need support in prayer, because we need a miracle for Ukraine. We so deeply want this war to end and celebrate our victory.
Yes, I agree with you, with Ilona.
Yeah.
And it's really a miracle be here. In a few days, we made all documents, and it's God's miracle. Really be here, and we are happy and thankful. What about me? I think that I am all these 10 months divided into 2 parts. I am really happy that we have new possibility to serve, that we have big vision, that we can help our students, our people in Lviv, and people from different regions come to Lviv, and we are helpful to their people. And every day I am so sorry. I cry. I'm alive deep all our situation in Ukraine, and really I am activate for our victory.
Wow.
And so often I never prayed the now for our government, for us. And I am proud of our students, of our Ukrainian people. It's really interesting situation. I cry and I'm happy. Really?
It's kind of happening at the same time.
Yes,
right?
at the same time, we're one person.
Right. Now, you all are young women, and I have heard some of the older people from Ukraine talk about memories from other past conflicts or wars or different things that they might have known. But I'm going to assume you all have not lived through anything like this, right? Am I accurate in the timing? So this current war that's happening is your first experience
For us, yes.
with that kind of, that to me, you know, when you were talking around it, that the bomb shelter, you have to, you know, you might work for 2 hours and you have to run down. How quickly did you adjust? I know you said it's your reality now, but how that had you heard enough about it that when it happened, you could make that transition, or was it absolutely brand new and you just your fight or flight knew what to do, you knew how to survive? Well, tell us how you made that transition, because it's going to lead to another story about how the seminary also transitioned quickly that I want y'all to tell. But for you personally,
but for me, it's really hard to divide myself from the seminary, because for the 2 months before the war, we knew that something is going to come. We read the news. We understand that the war is going to come. We just didn't know the scope, when, how, what area. No one expected that to be that way, but we knew that the war is coming. So we as a seminary decided to prepare. We understand that if the war comes, we are going to be a humanitarian relief center. We are going to host people. We are going to help refugees. We're going to have students in our seminary, their families. We're going to give them food and take care of them the best we can. So, and we bought some supplies, some fuel, things in mattresses and things in advance so that we are kind of ready. So when the war came, we were shocked, but we were prepared but I don't know how well prepared, but still we were to some extent. And so I don't think there was a long transition. We are kind of did like this. So, okay, now we are a humanitarian relief center. We are going to help people. That's crazy. A lot of evil, but we are going to do something good.
Jump straight into action without even...
And for me, I understand that. So, okay, now I serve at this humanitarian relief center. I was like chief of staff. Now we do this. Okay, so we will help people. We need to adjust. So I don't think that I had time to think. We just had to act, because timing was crucial. We saw thousands of people coming, thousands of calls, and just, I don't know. And I remember that in summer, I had a kind of debrief exercise. I was thinking about that experience that happened on February 24. And then I realized that I don't even remember what I felt, how I made this transition. I didn't have time to think. I started to think about that experience a month after. That's my story, I think. We adjusted quickly, I think.
Yeah, we have two different lives, before February 24 and now. And I remembered the morning, February 24, when I listened for the first time this sound of air alarms. It was so strange for me. It's like my grandparents told me about the Second World War and their experience, and I only learned about history in school. And now I listen this weird sound in this year, and it was 10. But now, when we listen air alarms, I am thinking, okay, I should go to bomb shelter, or maybe I can stay, or what. When we are in UBTS, we keep all students to bomb shelter and have classes there with teachers, but we adapt. We adapt to be without electricity, without warm apartments, without plane, with air alarms, with rockets. I don't know. We have some mental, like not mental, like some
strength there. That
yeah. But we adapt, and we see a lot of opportunities to share this experience with our nations, and to live people's stories together, their stories from some occupied territory, and with our students. Yeah.
When I think about me, I never know that I am so adaptive. I know that, but so in few days, my grandma went through war too, and I know this information only history. Really, it was interesting to hear, but be part of that hard time, never. And now it's my history, and I am happy be in Lviv, and more safe place than another place in Ukraine, and have this opportunity to, then Ilona say, live with people from another region, their hard history, and I think it's some maybe special God's way for us to become this hard experience, really to share, to be thankful for that we have, change our values, and it's big.
Yes, and it's interesting how we've reported on so much of what's happening, but even when we look and watch the steps, and we see how God was preparing all of you before, the seminary is only 22 years old, and Olena, right, your dad was instrumental in founding it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So how interesting to see this young seminary, really, and what had happened through the steps of getting it in place, and it was preparing students for ministry and doing all the different parts and pieces that a seminary does. And as you said, all of a sudden it changed and needed to have a different purpose for a while. Walk us through how it could become a humanitarian center, and how you decided what to do, when, and where. The We Care centers, explain that, some of the, just all the pieces that kind of fell into place, and then how your students adapted to those new roles.
Really interesting question. May I start?
Yeah, and I will continue.
We equipped our students be effective leader. For example, about my program about women, not directly in some area. For example, a ministry only for children, a ministry only for women. We equip them be leader according to God's calling, in their full potential, and they are able be effective in different ways. Now they important be with widows. Yes, of course, they already serve widows. Be effective or serve teenagers who lost their parents.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Okay, they already be with them. And I am really happy and proud of my women. They are really ready serve different people. They use their potential, their gift, their possibility, serve and be response different needs we have now.
Right.
They can change, they can see these needs and use their potential and gifts to serve. They are really adaptive and they are a leader.
See, and I love that, Olena, that you're directing the women's ministry aspect and the leadership institute, and then being able to see all of that play out. And are the students sprinkled out through the country? How does that work?
They are from different regions. From our students, our program are from more than 50 regions from Ukraine.
Oh,
yeah, like in our students, we have students from all regions of Ukraine, all 24. We have more than 1,300 students, and they represent 298 churches. Yes,
interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
all of our students are involved in different ministries. They all are leaders or potential leaders, and they do different kind of work, even before the war and now during war.
Okay.
And I can share more about our institution, Ukrainian Baptist Theological Seminary, or UBTS, as we call it, like short, is an educational institution that is situated in Lviv, Ukraine. And this is, we train leaders for the church. The focus of our vision is the church, growth through baptism and discipleship. And we exist to help our students to serve to their full God-given potential, and also to help them form the culture of biblical, missional, and accountable values in their local church. And so we focus on theological training and organizational leadership training. And this is still our core. This is still our focus, but we do different activities when the war started. On February 24, everything was new. Everything changed. And our seminary became a 24/7 humanitarian relief center. We would accept people from all over Ukraine. We have hundreds of people that were coming to UBTS on a daily basis. And we would give them housing, meals, clothes, medicine, hygiene supplies, some spiritual care. We had devotions in the morning, every morning. And we also helped them relocate to other countries. These were mostly women and children and old people. And what we decided also to do, to become a kind of humanitarian aid logistics hub, because we had a facility and we used all our facility for this humanitarian work. And we had many students all over Ukraine, and we understand that they need some help. They also were leaders at those locations, helping people with humanitarian ministry.
Can I add? For the first 3 months of war, we accept more than 10,000 people from all over the Ukraine. And some days we didn't have free places because the amount of people was huge.
Yeah, and we would transport humanitarian aid to different villages and towns. And by June, we transported that to more than 189 locations. But in summer, we realized that not so many refugees were coming. The situation has changed, and people actually started to come back from other countries to Ukraine. So we realized that we are still UBTS. We feel pain for the leadership in Ukraine, and we understand that we need to come back to what we are primarily called to do. That is theological training, mentoring, coaching, and equipping and training effective leaders for the church. And we understand that there is even much bigger need in that now. It's critical because unfortunately in Ukraine we now experience what we call leadership vacuum or leadership gap. Around 400 churches ceased to exist from the beginning of war. Some leaders left the country. It's because of all of that, because of war. And now there is like this gap that's why we feel even more responsible and more passionate and committed to continue to do what we are called to do, to train leaders for the church. At the same time, we realize that there is humanitarian crisis and we need to pursue this humanitarian mission, but in different way. We understand that the war is not going to be over soon. And after war, there's going to be huge crisis, humanitarian and spiritual, and there should be a lot of trauma care done. So that's why we realized we want to train students, but we want to help in terms of humanitarian work. So that's why we came up with this idea of We Care Centers. This is kind of strategic way to help Ukraine and to rebuild Ukraine on local level. This is we have already launched 9 We Care centers in different cities of Ukraine, like Lviv, Ternopil, Hostomel, which is near Irpin and Bucha, and Kiev, in Kharkiv, which suffered a lot. We have that one in we are going to launch that one in Cherkasy, and we have one in Uzhhorod, so we have 9. We are going to launch 4 more within this month, and 7 more by June, so it's going to be 20. This is our idea, how we want to help Ukraine, rebuild Ukraine, help with humanitarian work, spiritual care, trauma care, different kind of medical, legal counseling, doing different educational projects, and also doing a kind of dialogue between churches, city, government, and also NGOs, so that we work together to impact the city and help Ukraine in this time of war and post-war period.
Will the We Care centers have full-time staff, or is it more volunteer-led, or how does that work?
It depends on the city.
Yeah, it depends on the city, but now, already with those 9 centers, there is a We Care center director. They have a core team. And they have a team of volunteers. And all these guys, they have already gone through our training, 4-month training for leadership development, how to develop those centers, how to work with volunteers, how to do volunteer management. And we also have counseling training, because all these 10 centers have chaplains and counseling people who work with emotional and spiritual part. So we have already they have took a training, we call it trauma helpers training. Actually, Dr. Clay Barnes from the US, he's the leader of that initiative. He took qualified specialists, he brought them to Ukraine, and they had already had this training, level 1, they're going to be level 2. So we work in this direction as well, because we are going to understand there is going to be a big need. It is already, and it's going to be, so we need to answer that.
Dr. Barnes is from North Carolina, I believe.
Yes, he's from Carmel Baptist Church.
And some We Care centers teams go to the occupied territory, because the cities and villages that was under Russia for several months have a huge humanitarian situation without food, water, electricity, and so on, and they bring humanitarian aid there.
Yeah.
And really big idea is equip our students through this this ministry. Yes, our students invite or involved into this ministry, and our women make really big and good job in these care centers and in different centers.
As you're talking and describing it, I'm thinking of what an incredible model that your leadership team, the seminary in general, just laid out for all the churches, to be able to turn that quickly, to assess, to be informed, paying attention to what was happening, being informed, being prepared. If this happens, here's what here's the role that we can play. Here's how we can do this. And you turned your seminary into a refugee center, basically, for a little bit, right? Beds everywhere, right?
Yes.
You had people
all 3 floors. Everywhere.
And then now it's back to classrooms, I guess.
Yes.
But, but for a bit, you didn't, watching it from afar, it seemed like you went, hey, this is what is needed. This is what we're doing. And you didn't blink. You didn't worry about it. You just got to work and you did it. And then when it was time to pivot again, you went back to what you needed, what you said, with what you were talking about as, but with a new angle to it, because you've got this new level of need. What an incredible model. Was that something, help me understand
how we find it.
What was the leadership like in that? Who walked in and said, here's what we're doing? Or how did that all play out? Or do you even remember, because it was just so naturally in place when it was time?
So, we had all this news about war 3 months before the war, before the February 24th. Yeah. And our president, Yaroslav Pech,
we all know
wisdom and vision, and he understood that maybe something will happen, and we should have this crisis plan and plan
Okay.
what we will do
Action
before
plan, yes.
Okay.
start. Yeah. And when was February 24,
Mhm.
we gathered together, all team, UBTS team, and we have planned what we will do.
Mhm.
Who is responsible for communication,
Mhm.
for center, for food, for everything. Yeah, it
Yeah.
helps a lot. But all this way we adapt all the time because situation change all the time.
Right.
But this plan helped a lot, and really wisdom of our president and his huge view.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He always said, "It will be, war will be,"
Wow.
and we
didn't
cannot
believe.
believe. Yes,
Just couldn't really be
but
there.
we
right?
prepare. About
Yeah.
me, I cannot believe,
Right.
but we prepare at
Mhm.
home at the seminary, and it were start. We were ready
Wow.
to
Yeah.
do something. Yes, we have action
Yeah,
plan
yeah.
and
Wow.
done this
Yeah.
action plan.
As Chief of Staff, Iryna, what was that like for you?
Well, like for when the war started, like on February 24, Slavik
Yeah.
called me in the morning and said, Ira, the war started. Gather everyone in the seminary. We're going to talk. So we were texting everyone, calling everyone, guys, come. We have a meeting. So we had a couple of meetings on February 24, and everyone got new roles. So that was new for us. But I know that this is about seminary. This is about our culture.
Yeah.
So you had a question how we did all of that
Yeah.
so quickly. This, like, being adaptive is about UBTS.
Yeah.
So we try to teach our students that, and Slavik, our president, all our leadership team, we work with our teams, and we help them be adaptive. We talk about that at our staff meetings, at our retreats. We teach that, and we are kind of I think we were prepared to take any role at any time because of the culture that have existed there for years.
Okay.
This is part of our identity, I think.
Okay.
And that was the result of what has been done for the last 7 years, like Slavik was a president.
Yeah.
So we'll have new role. Okay, we will turn back to being in school again. Okay, we'll launch new weaker centers. Okay, we'll work with Ukrainians outside of the country. And we launched European initiative. We will help Ukrainians outside of Ukraine. Okay, we'll do this because that's what needed. This is what Ukraine needs now. Okay, we're going to pursue it. So this is about us, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to add that everybody should understand one thing. It's not easy. It's like stressful. It's not easy. Oh, we adopted and blah blah blah. No,
Right.
it's stressful because stressful personally for each of us, stressful for team, for departments, for students. But we don't have another way. It's our home. We don't have choice. We won't have another choice.
We have choice.
We have choice, but we don't at the same
But
time.
this miracle that all our team stay in Lviv.
Yeah.
We are together.
Nobody
Nobody
abroad.
moved to
Really?
another country. Yes. This is result, big vision, our passion,
Our
our
pain.
values,
Our pain.
pain.
Yeah.
Yes, we all are here. And what is miracle for me too, that more than 80% our women stay in Ukraine. Women and children at the first move to another country.
Right.
But really, it's something big and big miracle. Our students, women, stay in Ukraine, and God used they to serve people with big needs. And our passion is their passion. We understand this. What are we doing? They are doing.
Oh.
It's big responsible.
Yeah.
Actually, that was really, we could see beauty and something good in the midst of evil.
Right.
And we saw that in the ministries of our students. We were really worried about them, about their families, but we saw that they stayed and they took responsibility for people that were among them. They to help people in the church. They all like especially people in the west of Ukraine, they will accept hundreds of refugees. They will take care of them. They will like lead these centers. They will do any volunteer work. And for us, it's like, wow, these are our students. We teach them. We try to help them get this biblical, missional, accountable values, which are our seminary values, and we see that in action. And we realize that we are one big family, one big UBTS family network all over Ukraine that is now doing one job. We are helping people, and with different needs they have. And that was a lot of pain in that. But a lot of, I don't know, beauty and something power. That gave a lot of passion and energy and reasons to glorify God and thank God that we have these leaders who
it's not
serve.
about our strength. It's not about our power. Because we are only people.
Yes.
Poor people.
But I remember we live at the seminary.
Yeah.
I remember that I slept in my office first day when we organized this work.
Right.
I have no ability to organize night for 140 people. We can give some sleep place. Right. For 100 in one building in our building for study. No, it's UBTS. Yes. Daily. For 140 people. And we organized our work so that we need only one day to help our people move or displace into another country.
Right.
One day for 140 people.
Like
in one location. Because we have 4 locations. We had 4 locations. This is our main campus, and Olena was in charge of that campus. But we had other campuses.
Okay. So before the crisis, how many would be on your team? Like paid employees?
Like we have 82 people.
So
this is our staff members.
So that was the same number the day boom, we're doing this, and
we had like little less staff, but we hired a couple of more people during summer. But now we have 82 people.
Okay. And you were saying the campus has a main building and some houses. Is that right, or are those offsite? Tell me again how the layout.
We have one big campus. This is mostly for academics and for work, and we have another small facility, and we have 2 more facilities. The most people sleep there, like students live there. When they come for UBTS for a week, they study, and we give them housing, food, and education.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So on the days that were the most difficult, how did you keep each other motivated?
Sometimes like I felt myself like I don't have any resources to keep going to serve, do work, and it's normal. It's okay because we are people. But first thing that I said before, we don't have choice as Ukrainian.
Right.
We win or we die, and it's our time to fight. So it's our reality, and we want to win. And another thing that we have really great team that can give hand when you have no power, and pray and help in your work. And we have this mission to serve people, to save lives, to give more opportunity for our students in their ministry, to rebuild Ukraine. It's keep us going through this.
I love that.
I would say the same thing. Maybe like 2 things motivated me. This is our vision and our community of people. So we all understand that we have now this responsibility for Ukraine, for people that God will give us to take care of. And all of us really, like, we understand this is our vision, this is our purpose, and we are united by this purpose. And this purpose energizes us, gives us passion, gives us strength when we were all exhausted, frustrated, especially when you read news and you understand that everything is bad, many people died, like that was crushing. But at the same time, understand, okay, this is evil, but we are gonna do something good. And so we have this why, let's say. And also the relationships between our team, the community. We were like one big family, like friends who support each other, who can cry with you, who can laugh with you, and we do something meaningful together. And that also gives some deep level of friendship that deeps your relationship and helps you move on. That I remember that I was talking to someone and I said that I was like, when the war started, that was a lot of fear and uncertainty and anxiety, all these kind of feelings. But this community of humanitarian relief center helped me to survive, to go through that, not to be so obsessed with the news that you read like every 1 minute, just to not to focus on that bad things, but to focus, okay, what I will do in the midst of all this mess. So I think this is my understanding of what happened. Right.
We live nearby airport.
Okay.
And first week, it was something hardest for us. God, when Russian government bombed our airport, what? And we moved to our friends for first 2 months and lived together. At what I understand, together, be together. One pain, one passion, one ministry, and be together and serve. This one point. And second, for me, encouraging our people, them we served. And I see this, when I may say so, happy eyes after helping. When I was, when I done always what I can for these people. They moved. They became new house. They became new possibility, new chance to continue to live. It was the biggest encouraging for me, and I share this story to our team, and it was really encouraging that we are doing something great, that God used us in that time, in that place, for his mission. So
and also I remember the third encouragement for me, I realized that we at UBTS, we don't do it by ourselves. I understand that we have a big family of partners all over the world. People would text us. We'll have I don't know how many Zoom calls every day, how many emails with the request, how can we help? How can we pray for you? How can we support you? These were many, many individuals, organizations, churches from the US, also organizations from Europe, like guys from M4 or Exponential or other networks. And so we understand that we are like, Ukraine is now in a very, very bad situation, but we are not alone. And we have this huge support, prayer support, financial support, any kind of support from our friends and partners all over the world, and they will help us. And we kind of did all this humanitarian relief ministry together. And we understand that we are like in the middle. We have friends, we have people in need, and we are in the middle. We can all together can help these guys. And for me, the sense of community, international one, not Ukrainian one, but like international, global, had new meaning, new understanding for me. And really, we really felt that. And we still do, of course. We are so blessed by partnerships we have.
I know WMU Foundation provided some of the grant money as countless others. I know you received different things. And having those partnerships in place naturally beforehand had to make a difference too. The network was already there.
Yeah, we had, of course, we as a seminary, part of we have like why, what, and how. One of our how is building partnerships with like-minded organizations and individuals who are like have the same values, so that we can continue to do this huge ministry that cannot only be done by one institution in Ukraine. We understand that, and this is why this is part of our identity. We had partnerships before, and we expanded our partnerships during the war. And this is one of the greatest things in the midst of evil. Once again,
I cannot imagine our ministry without partnership. Really.
We have professors that would come and teach classes. We have people who would come and train teams, and different kinds of leadership.
These are volunteers from other places. We
are in partnership with different seminaries. For example, with Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary. Like Olena and I, we graduated from the seminary. This is a partnership program between UBTS and the school. We are going to have another master's program with the seminary. We will have program with Midwestern.
And so Southeastern Seminary in North Carolina and Midwestern.
Yes, and Midwestern. But we have like churches and individuals and organizations who are our really faithful partners, and they help us expand the kingdom of God in Ukraine. We understand that, and this is once again another God's miracle and reason to be thankful for.
Well, tell me how, as you're facing the 1-year mark, you're moving into this new era of this new season, and as you stated earlier, kind of regrouping again to some level. How can we pray? How can we help? What can we do?
Thank you, God, that you are. Yes.
Well, we need your prayer support for the miracle of Ukraine. We started to pray about that on February 24, and we still do. And we see a lot of miracles now because Ukraine is strong. We fight, and we see a lot of victories already, and so it's a huge miracle that we are still like this. And we need your prayers for the miracle for Ukraine. And we also understand that now it's winter coming, and there is a lot of crisis in terms of that, because there is electricity issue, heating issues, water supply issues. Unfortunately, Russians continue to target our critical infrastructure assets. More than 40% of our critical infrastructure is damaged. That's why we have it's bad. And every time there is this massive missile attack that happens every week or every other week, then it's very bad for Ukraine. And now with winter, there is this crisis, and we were trying to, many partners and friends helped us buy some generators and different equipment, so that for UBTS and for our WeCare centers, so that we as a seminary and WeCare centers could become a kind of this platform for people to get some heating, warm meal, clothes, and not to freeze to death in the charge phones, not to freeze to death in winter because it's cold. So another prayer request is for us to go through winter, to have an opportunity to have these, generators, all those things, so that we can help more people and create more platforms for people to go through winter. And also, because of this leadership gap, and like we said, 400 churches stopped to exist. So we understand that we need to do what we are called to do, and train leaders for the church, and continue to have opportunity to do this. So this is for leadership, for churches, for scholarships, for students, just for us, to be able also to see the needs that exist, and to be able to adapt quickly and to respond to those things. And of course, we can do this only with partners all over the world. But
what I understand exactly, we are tired, and our students are tired too. Yes, they are. They have passion. They have rage. They have vision to serve, but we are tired. 1 year in this hard situation, and pray, please, about our power to continue to serve. Now, how can we be able in different ways to serve, be smart, be spiritual, to serve people, understand different needs, and really have power, because we are tired. Sometimes we lost maybe belief in our victory, but each of us understand we win. But sometimes it's hard to believe.
Discouragement probably sets in, I'm sure. Yeah.
And really we ask for prayers, and we hope that you will be with us to the end. Yes, and
it's like a marathon for a long distance, and every runner, when he run or she run marathon, has a peacemaker. So like our partners, for us, it's somebody who run with us and our friends, because it's marathon, and we need resources. Not only like financial, it's too, but resources to be not tired and to keep going.
And we help our students to serve different way, educational program, resources, financial resources, different helping. And yes, we are thankful that our partners help us help our students, and we continue have these resources, different resources.
And I realized that when the war started, we understand that millions of Ukrainians, they went to other countries like Poland, the Czech Republic, Germany, and the other countries. So in early March, we realized that we need to establish our presence there. We need to make sure that we can help Ukrainians abroad. Many of them came back, but many of them are still there, are going to be there. And so these are Ukrainians that suffered from war, and they are now in other country. So we launched the project, we call it European Initiative. This is our ministry outside of Ukraine. And so we have different training programs there. We have different Bible studies. We do Christian counseling, trauma care. And so our prayer is now that we would like all people that can hear that also to pray for that, so that we are effective in helping Ukrainians in Ukraine and in helping Ukrainians outside of Ukraine with with spiritual care, with education. We do different training programs in these countries, and we are going to launch 12 groups actually in 2023 in 6 countries. And for us to be able to understand the needs and to help Ukrainians also not only to survive the war, but to go through this from this I'm a victim to I'm ambassador mentality. I'm there, but I will try to help other Ukrainians, other people to live life, not just to wait until I come back. Like this is what we try to do. And we have people there, we try to do this. And also the prayers for our We Care centers, because we understand this is important now. We want to help people all over Ukraine in terms of humanitarian work, but also this trauma care and education. So we want to help Ukraine rebuild. And this is our effort. This is one. There are many other organizations that do this, and this is beautiful. But this is also prayer for the success and God's blessing of this initiative, and for UBTS, so we can have opportunity to continue to do what we are called to do.
So long answer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So don't ask us about prayer. because yeah.
No, thank you for sharing your hearts. And thank you for being so transparent and helping us see the beautiful story that is Ukrainian Baptist Theological Seminary, UBTS. We're all going to know it, love it, pray for it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.